What's up, you guys? Alright, today is Monday morning, March 27th, I think, whatever it is. About 1:20-ish in the morning. Alright, we are getting into Tulsa, Oklahoma right now. Going to be making a delivery to the Walmart distribution center in Ochelata. Locals tend to call it Ochelata. I'm not going to call it that. You guys know how I am about pronouncing things the proper way. It's just, let it go. I don't believe Ochelata is the proper way to pronounce it. I'm going to pronounce it Ochelata, whether you like it or not. Anyway. Okay, we're right at the 44 and 244 split now. We're going to take the 244 side here. We're going to end up taking this over to US 75 northbound, and Ochelata will be about 30-mile drive north of Tulsa on US 75. I have done several other delivery videos here. Alright, so this is a Walmart cross-dock load that I picked up out of Colton, California. I did not do the pickup video like I mentioned in the last video I did of that delivery to Ralph's in Riverside, California. I mentioned if I was going to be doing a Colton pickup, I wasn't going to vlog it. On second thought, I probably should have, because there's a reason why other fellow JCT drivers always call that place the Colton Circus. There's never a shortage of amusement, I guess you can say there, or maybe not so amusing time there, depending on what the situation is there. A lot of times you get there, you end up sitting there getting detained for who knows how long before you can actually leave with your load. But to me, there's always other stuff going on besides what goes on with the shipper themselves that can sometimes be comical, at least to me as a trucker. So there was plenty of footage. I do have the footage right here on the SD cards. I just never bothered to, at least I think that's what's on there. Never bothered to pull put the data on my computer yet, or tablet, whatever. I might try to do like some kind of compilation of things that I saw just specifically with that pickup, because there were several things that were at least worth, presenting, that I thought maybe were worth presenting. I'm not going to go into those details there, though, because there's several items and there's other stuff I would like to talk about right now. Let's see. Yeah, so I ended up, like I said, I picked it up in Colton. Now, normally, on the way over here, I would normally take I-15 up to Barstow and then take I-40 across. However, there's someone over here on the next lane over. I'm going to eventually run over, but let them go by first. Anyway, we are 65. Yeah, with the curves, I usually expect that. Downtown Tulsa area has some curvy areas here, so I don't tend to run very fast through here. Alright, there've been a lot of complaints from our drivers about all the potholes on I-40 in Arizona particularly, and also to an extent New Mexico, because all the snow that's been falling in that area. Even on the way over here, I-40 was actually getting some snow along that stretch. Now, I didn't go that way, but it wasn't because of the weather concerns. Now, the reason why I didn't go go that way is largely because, one, I didn't want to do the Cajon crawl on a Friday night trying to get out of the area. And two, I'm sick and tired of eastbound 40 in the Continental Divide, New Mexico area, right over there by Jamestown where the Flying J is at. 55 zone here. I'm doing time, I'm fine on time here, so I don't need to really even speed. Just just gonna, whatever speed limit is, I'm gonna run it. So yeah, there's always delays there for the road work that they're doing there. So I can't stand going through there unless it's gonna be at night. So I ended up just saying, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and take I-10 across. Last time I took I-10 across to bypass 40, you know, it's with that Bakersfield to Pauls Valley load that you saw me do a few weeks ago. Certainly, because it's usually about 100 or so extra miles that you run, but I average about 8 miles a gallon going that way. Like this load here, since I picked it up, I'm about 20. I think I reset my trip meter right around 20 miles or so into the trip, the loaded miles. Right now I'm averaging 7.9 miles per gallon, and normally on I-40 I can't run that kind of fuel economy because of all the terrain in Arizona. You got some not so tall mountains in California to deal with. I've got a mile and a half to go. I know I need the left lane coming up soon. I think it's after this interchange though. I want to say there's another left exit first before I get to that one. What's that? I can't read it. Yeah, see, that's 64 and 412 west, so yeah, I don't want to go that way. I knew I didn't need that. I didn't want that lane. I know I need the left lane coming up, but it's after I get past here. Now, there's 2 exits here I could have used. Could have gotten off back there. I think at exit 4. That's also 75 north, but it comes around over here through downtown on the right side, and then it curves back around, comes back up. Ultimately, though, it's about the same amount of time that it takes because I went that way one time, the first time trying to come up this way. And I remember, I think there was an LTL truck that kept going. And by the time I got up here to the interchange coming up 75, that same LTL truck was, or a Walmart truck or whatever the hell it was, I can't remember. I saw them getting on this 85 from this exit that I'm going to be using here. Just barely ahead of where I was at when I was coming up on it. So, you know, and I'm talking like hundreds of feet, not like half a mile ahead of me. So it was real super close. But I tend to go this way myself. All right. So anyway, yeah, like I said, I took I-10 across. Oh shit. I knew I was in the wrong lane. I don't know why I was over there, but I should have known better. It's not like I've never been over here before. Alright. So, I-10. Now, there's some interesting stuff here. Now, I ended up stopping in Quartzsite, Arizona to get some fuel and reefer fuel and all that. Okay, no, there's nobody over there. I thought I saw a headlight at first, but I think it was just a floodlight or something. Anyway, though, yeah, I stopped in Quartzsite, and after I got to get my fuel, I pull up to the courtesy lane and run inside. You know, you do the usual restroom and drink break kind of stuff, and then I'm coming back out to my truck. When I'm walking up to my truck, I always take a glance at everything as I'm walking past. You know, look at tires or whatever else that just seem. Look for anything that might just at a real quick glance look at a place or something wrong with it, like, you know, flat tire or who knows what else that I might not have known. So anyway, I get up here to the door, and just as I'm getting to the door, I notice my Coax cable for my CB antenna was disconnected. I'm like, what the hell? Why the hell is that disconnected? And then I instantly thinking, well, that would only be disconnected if somebody was trying to steal my antenna or my bird perch or something. What is this? Okay. yeah, and my antenna was still there, but I went ahead and by hand I checked the antenna and the bird perch and all that, and then it turned out the antenna was loose, and so was the bottom nut on there. So I'm thinking, why is this like this? I know for damn sure it wasn't loose like that. This tells me somebody tried to steal my antenna. Now, I use a 6-foot fire stick antenna. You can't buy those at truck stops. I ended up getting mine from the CB shop that's over by Danny's Big Rig Resort across the street from Flying J in Phoenix. Yeah, they got 6 and 7 foot fire sticks there. Yeah, and he had recommended the 6-footer for my truck, so that's what I ended up going with. So I think someone was trying to steal my antenna and or the bird perch. Why they didn't actually do it when the antenna was loose, so they either got it off and realized they didn't have the right hookup stuff for it, or or they maybe they figured out that I had cameras all over my truck, and now I had I don't know if when this happened, I don't know if this happened while I was parked in Victorville, about a mile from my house over by Chevron. Maybe they thought they could pull a fast one on me there while I was away from my truck or whatever. I had my curtains closed, so you wouldn't know that if I was in the truck or not. Or if it happened while I was actually sitting at WCC. I don't remember hearing anything though when I was in my truck and awake the whole time, but I'm not really sure. I'm assuming it might have happened while I was in Victorville and just didn't happen to notice it when I got back to my truck from my house. But whatever the case, the antenna was still there. I had to tighten it back down and reinstall the coax though, but now I have reason to believe I'm having antenna or coax issues, and I'm going to have to probably get it checked out by the CB shop again, have them run their tester across it, double check that there aren't any problems. And it even makes me wonder if maybe somebody, you stupid thing. I even question if somebody had the same type and color of antenna as me and knew that theirs was bad, and perhaps they swapped their bad one out with my good one. And I don't know, but I like to think that they did not, and maybe they changed their mind after they might have figured out that I had cameras sitting here on my doors, and might have even my curtains closed. This camera here, the front-facing camera, you can still see it with the curtains shut. You can't tell necessarily if it's actually recording, but I'm apt to believe they questioned that whether it might or might not be recording, and oh yes it was. These cameras, they record 24/7. Even if my truck is turned off, they are recording. So they will pick up anybody walking anywhere near or going anywhere near my truck at any time. So I like to think that maybe they figured out that I had these cameras on the truck, and maybe they figured out that, hey, guess what? You're on camera. So maybe they got wise and decided to change their mind about trying to steal my antenna after figuring out that they probably weren't going to get away with it because my cameras might be recording, which they actually were. I don't know where it actually happened at those, so I wasn't able to retrieve the data. Like I said, it could have happened in Victorville, and I didn't realize it until I was already in Quartzsite after picking up my load. Not happy about that. Yeah, I actually did make contact with another JCT driver on I-10 who was passing the other way. Said what's up to him, and he was even saying it kind of sounded like I might have been having coax issues from his end. So, yeah, I'm apt to believe it's there's something not right here with my connection. I need to get it checked out. Alright, so that said, yeah, I don't know, maybe a couple little things here before we skip ahead. I'm going to just jump, I'm going to cut straight ahead because we're just going to be in the dark here, and nothing, it's all rural between here and Ochelata, or Bartlesville as you might call it. I'll say a couple of things about it, just kind of shake my head moments of things I saw on the way over here. While I was in Oklahoma City, there was a, what was that company again? There was a truck that was on the right shoulder, decided to come out at slow speed, which is, for one thing, if you cannot be on the right shoulder of the interstate unless it's for emergency. In other words, if you don't have a reason to be putting your warning triangles out, or if you don't have a reason to be calling for law enforcement and or EMS to come rescue you or somebody else you witnessed, you have no business being there. You can get ticketed by the cops if they see you there, in any state. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, and sometimes the cops just don't care or whatever, because maybe they're busy doing something else. So they might give the impression that they don't care, but it's a dangerous place to be. Somebody I know, I used to work with, was on the right shoulder of Interstate 5 over in the Buttonwillow area west of Bakersfield. He stopped on the side of the road there to take a piss on the way home from Travis Air Force Base. He lived in Simi Valley. Well, anyway, he stops on the shoulder to take a piss, and then he gets back on the road, but when he came back out on the road, he did it at slow speed and right in front of somebody who was already in the lane doing 70 plus or whatever. They plowed right into him, and next thing you know, his stupid ass not wearing a seatbelt, he got ejected through the windshield of his truck, whatever, and killed by that accident. So this is the kind of shit that happens when you're on the right shoulder, or you pull out in front of somebody and they're the hapless victim. And now in this case, I'm on Interstate 40, heading eastbound. I'm kind of on the west side of Oklahoma City, and this guy comes out. There's a pickup just a little bit, not too many, I don't know, maybe a couple 100 feet ahead of me or so, maybe 100 feet in front of me, going just a tad slower, maybe a couple miles an hour slower than me. This trucker was right in that guy's path, and he was gaining on him really fast. So I have these switches right here on my right side, on the right side spoke of my steering wheel. One of them actually interrupts the headlights, and so that does that. But I have another button that'll interrupt my marker lights. It actually flashes them 3 times. Well, I repeatedly start hitting my headlight interrupt, so that this pickup driver knows that, hey, go ahead, come on over in front of me. Even though I was gaining on him, it's better for me to lose a couple miles an hour and let him over than for him to have to slam on the brakes, lose at least 20 miles an hour off speed that he's already going to accommodate this stupid trucker. Well, after I get through flashing my lights, it turns out this stupid trucker decides to go from the number 3 lane to the middle lane, which was the one that I was in. Now, the number 3 lane, now, you guys don't know any better. A lot of times, lanes are numbered from left to right, not from right to left. Most people have mistakenly believe they're numbered from right to left, but you talk to any law enforcement or first responder type of agency, worker, and they're all going to tell you that the lanes are numbered from left to right, not including any HOV lanes that might exist. So the fast lane, no matter where you're at, would be the number 1 lane. There were 3 lanes here, so now he moved from the right shoulder to the number 3 lane, and then he moved into my lane, and then I still blew his doors off and passed by him, and I ended up honking my air horn at him, and getting on the radio, cussing them out, like, what the hell are you doing on the right shoulder for one, and what the hell are you doing in the middle lane where you don't belong? I don't get where these drivers are learning this shit from. I get when you're in heavier traffic and there's a lot more going on in urban areas and you don't want to deal with all the on-ramp and off-ramp traffic. I get it. But when you're going that slow and at that hour and there's nobody getting on the freeway, you just don't have any business being in that middle lane. And in fact, in some states it's illegal to be in that lane, like California. It's actually illegal to be in the middle lane in a truck unless you are passing somebody. Speaking of, right in here in between Sepulpa and Tulsa, I passed a Dan freight truck. Dan freight drivers are slow. I don't know what their speed is. They only do like 62 to 65 miles an hour. They're very clearly slower than JCT trucks. But this person was camping out in the middle lane, and there's nobody on the road. It's just me, and then there was like a car behind me, I think, or behind them, or whatever. Hardly anybody else around, and they're just camping out in the middle lane. Why? I don't know. I think it's because they get trained to stay away from the on-ramp and off-ramp traffic, but, I mean, come on, it's 1:15 in the morning. Not a damn soul's on the road except for like a few of us around right in that immediate vicinity, and nobody getting on or off the freeway. Again, what the fuck are you doing in that lane? You know, people don't have any common sense. At least in that area, trucks are legally allowed to be in the number one lane when, because it was in the area where there's 3 lanes. Now you get it goes from 2 lanes to 3, heading eastbound on the turnpike there, just before you get into Kellyville, Sepulpa area. And then it stays 3 lanes up until you get to the construction zone up there by where our motel is at, roughly about where I started this video from. So at least you can say that. I mean, if I could have passed them on the left, if I was, but I would have had to move over 2 lanes to do it. I was already in the right lane anyway, so I said, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and pass on the right. But here's the problem, guys. If someone has to pass you on the right, you're in the wrong lane. You don't belong in that lane. I don't know why people think that is, oh yeah, well, fuck you, I don't care, I don't want to deal with the on-ramp traffic. Okay, well, if there is on-ramp traffic and there's faster traffic now dealing with you, and they have a hookah and they have to interact with that on-ramp traffic, now you got a bigger problem there. Because it's a worse situation having slow on-ramp traffic dealing with faster drivers in the right lane. Not to mention that faster driver might cut into you to avoid contact with a car that might decide, fuck you, I don't want to yield right away, but even though I have to. So, and if they do, maybe they do end up hooking up, and I have seen plenty of times where a car coming off the on ramp, has a side swipe incident with the truck that's already on the road, and you never know. It's depending on how they hit, they could actually cause the truck to go out of control. And if that happens, the truck, let's just say the truck ends up veering off into the left while you're getting hit. Don't be that guy that gets involved in that. Alright, so that said, I'm going to quit the ramblings for now. I think there's plenty. I don't want the video to be excessively long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut from here to just before we're getting off the highway here, okay? Alright guys, we are about a mile away from our exit here. You can see the Walmart DC right here on the left. We're exiting County Road 3000. If you haven't seen it, if you've never been to this DC before, you're coming here or whatever, and you haven't already seen any of my previous delivery videos to here, maybe you're wanting to know where you can park nearby. You are going to see trucks parked here. I see several there right now. However, I don't recommend parking there because the local law enforcement can and does occasionally come in here and ticket truck drivers for being parked here. You're going to see no parking signs. I don't see any right now. Don't tell me they took them down. Gotta slow it down because just in case any of these guys come suddenly comes out to yeah. See, there's a no parking sign right here. I think. Yeah, no parking on shoulder. So these guys all run a red. There's a JCT right there. 4569 or something. No, it's not 4569 because. Wait a minute. No, 4569 is a good friend of mine. Yeah, my friend David drives that 4569. That was a 40 something. I thought it said 4569, but I know he's not here in Ochelata because I know he's on his way from. I know he shut down in like Mississippi earlier today, and he's on his way to Colton. Anyway, yeah, I don't recommend parking here. Now, if you want somewhere legal to park, you can go north of here a few miles. I can't remember how far. It's not that far. On the right side, there is a small truck stop there, whatever you want to call it, that has dirt. It's a dirt parking lot. See, also you can't park on the shoulder here either. You can get away with spending maybe a couple of hours here. But like I mentioned, local law enforcement comes through here, and if they see you the first time, they'll make usually will make a note of, your vehicle. Then they'll come back through here about 2 hours later, and if you're still here, they'll give you a ticket. It's generally what I understood to be how things are done by them. There's another JCT up in front of us. So, yeah, you can either go up to that lot a few miles up, but they do charge for parking there. It's also a dirt parking lot. I think they're also closed at night, if I recall. Otherwise, if you're, there's also a QT truck stop about 5 to 10 miles on this side of Interstate 244. Right here on US 75 as well. That would be another spot I'd recommend. Or if you're a JCT driver, just stay at the terminal, or maybe park at the QT over by the motel that we stay at. Hello.
What's going on, man?
Good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Have you been to this location before?
Many times.
Awesome. You said you have been here before?
Many times.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna take down your information. I'll bring it all out to you, boss.
Okay.
All right, boss. They got you going to door 311.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Have a good one, boss.
Will do. Alright guys, we are checked in here. Now, this particular DC, if you've never been here, it's kind of nice in the fact you don't actually have to even get out of your truck to check in at the guard shack. They'll actually, as you see, they come up to you and get the bills from you right from your driver's seat, and they'll check you in, and then they'll come right back out and bring the bills and everything to you. While you're still sitting in your driver's seat. I think it's at 311. Yeah, door 311 is the one we're going to be going to, so it won't be too far away from the receiving office. That's pretty much standard process. Once you're in the yard here, you have the 100 or 200, whatever it is, row right here. On the other side of this building here, by the way, this is just drop rows here. But once we get around the corner, I think that's 100 row there. It's usually dry van freight, and then the row we're straight up in front of us will be the 300 row. That's where we're going to be docking in at. Then, of course, the receiving office is right there in the corner by where the two sides, the 100 and 300 rows meet up. as usual, just like most other Walmart DCs. As usual, there's plenty of room to work with here to dock in. Not always enough. Ooh, yeah. I guess I'm lucky I got a dock door. So all these trucks parked right here. These are all trucks that checked in and did not get assigned a dock door immediately. So they're all waiting on dock door assignments. That's something else too. I might come over here and find that there's somebody still in my assigned door, because maybe they're getting ready to leave and just haven't gotten their bills yet, or they could be camping out or something. We'll figure it out here in a second. Yeah, it looks like 311 is probably occupied. Yeah. 311 is definitely occupied by somebody else. Because this vacant here is definitely not 311. And it looks like the other JCT might be the one that's in 311. Yeah. The other JCT is the one who's in 311 right now, so we'll go find a place to kind of be out of the way. We'll go get checked in. Maybe even put it right here by this bobtail driver. For now, there's still plenty of room for these guys here to knock out, so not such a concern here. But I do at least want to get checked in and tell them, hey, I'm here, but you know, and somebody's in my assigned dock door, and they'll more than likely just tell me to go ahead and wait until they pull out. Let's see, come on. Which hopefully won't be too long, and we'll get docked in here as soon as they get out, more than likely. All right, guys, we are finally ready to check in here. It took a bit to get checked in, and she actually was busy trying to call a bunch of drivers and come get their bills, and so they can vacate doors, so people like me who were trying to get in could actually get docked in. Turned out one of these guys over here, she had called like 3 times already and ended up having to call a shack driver to come knock on his door to get him in there to check out. Alright, the other JCT driver got called in while I was in there waiting in line, so he's already gone. He's already gotten his bills and left by, as you see. Alright, I see the yard, the shack driver over there. Oh, I guess he's waiting on me. I was waiting on him, but he was waiting on me, so. A little bit off here. Not by a lot, but that was kind of my fault trying to be, because I knew that guy was walking across too, so I was trying to expedite getting out of the way, both for him and for the shack driver. Come on, don't be jerking on me now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get disconnected from our trailer now and pull forward as you see everybody else, and we'll check out of here in a minute, or whenever we get out of here. Alright guys, we are all done finally. I This is a pull and fast delivery, so it's on the short. It's faster than a normal one, but I don't know if you really call us fast. Sure as hell not. It's 8:22 in the morning now. And if you remember, I got here about 2 o'clock for a 3 a.m. appointment. So, given that our detention, he's getting out to open his doors. So, given that it took, our detention kicks in 2 hours after appointment time, so 5 a.m. I started collecting detention, so almost 3.5 hours of detention pay out of that. Be a nice little chunk of change here. I won't complain about that. Plus some detention pay for the pickup side as well. Yeah. Some of you guys don't like dealing with being detained, but to me, it's like, it didn't make any difference when I was going to be here. I could have been here last night, before midnight, easily. So, it's just extra money for me, that's the way I see it. Alright, so what do we have going on now? Well, I got this load here specifically so I can get back to the yard. Or the mothership, as I like to call it. Why would I be going to the mothership? Alright, so I think I've mentioned this recently that I just had my 5-year anniversary with JCT on the 12th of this month. At JCT, they have for the 5-year tenure gift, they give you a ring. It's a pretty nice ring. It's got some, I don't know, some kind of gemstone, like blue gemstone, whatever you call that thing in the middle is. Then it's adorned with, it gets diamonds on it. You get diamonds on it for every year past 5 years around the perimeter of it. Yeah, it's a nice ring, and it's worth some money too, from my understanding. Not like I really care, but it just kind of shows you. It's kind of it's a token of how much JCT appreciates drivers like who stayed for that long. All right, let me get checked out here. Get my doors shut, turn in my gate pass and trailer control record, and we'll get out of here. Alright, so let's get out of here now. So I'm going to PC back to the yard, and I'm going to take care of that. Basically, they wanted me to come back to the yard so I can get size for that ring. Well, it won't be available to me yet, but at least getting size for it. I don't know. I don't have a pre-plan yet. I should be getting one from Jim, our planner for this area. Probably this afternoon. I'll get over there and let them know. It should be ready this afternoon sometime. I kind of figured 1,500 this evening, but of course my 10-hour break is getting disrupted by having to leave their property and come back to the yard. Such is life. I already got some sleep. I can get more at the yard, but not like I really need a full uninterrupted 7 or 8, whatever. Alright. Otherwise, it's nothing else really going on here that I really need to talk about, at least right now. So I'll probably have another video, a pickup video for you, most likely, wherever it happens to be, in the near future after this one. So, alright, hope you guys enjoyed. Oh yeah, but I forgot. I was talking about the CB antenna. So it turned out I had the Dashcam footage pretty much the entire time my truck was parked over in Victorville. Yeah, after I made that delivery. Actually, from there all the way to when I was docked in at Walmart in Colton to pick this load up, I went through all of it, and there was no point in there where anybody came near this part of the truck, except for one guy who just kind of walked past. And he really did just walk past. He didn't stop at all. And that one case where at WCC where the guy told me to dock into a particular dock door. So if somebody tried to steal my antenna, it had to have, more likely would have been while I was sitting at the truck stop, because I got fuel at the truck stop right around the corner. There's 7-Eleven or Rialto Travel Center. Either while I was inside the building there, or while I was actually stopped in Quartzsite. Maybe that's why they didn't steal it, because I wasn't, maybe I came out fast enough where, I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough time to try to steal it before who knows, they might have had a lookout or something. I'm taking a wild guess here, I don't know, but all I know is, I still have my antenna, but I'm going to definitely need to get this thing checked out, figure out if they did some damage to it or something, or, that could have been it too. Maybe they did a swap of a bad antenna for a good one that was just so happened to be the same. I don't know. But, yeah, and I went through all that footage while sitting here in the dock door. Nope, not one hint of anybody coming up to there. Even without looking at the rear camera view, the front camera was recording, and it picks up the hood mirror, and you can see through the hood mirror if anybody was over here. So, alright, that said, that's all I got on this one. Again, I will have an update video for you guys wherever I pick up reload from, alright? Hopefully it's as long as it's not Waldron, Arkansas. If it's Waldron, Arkansas, they don't want me, they specifically asked JCT to have me take down previous videos of pickups there, so I'll give you that little caveat. If it's Waldron, you won't see a pickup video from me, but if it's anywhere else, expect to see a pickup video, alright? Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.